Well, again, just read an article on the Conservative Tribune, and I mean, this has to be fiction. I mean, this can't be this peaceful, loving religion. You know, the one that Hillary Rodham Clinton talked about when she was lying to us in the Rose Garden with that floppy-eared, crack-smoking homosexual Sunni Muslim Arab standing beside her. The title of this is, last year had 452 suicide attacks across the world. Guess how many came from radical Muslims? Do you have any idea? Okay, radical Islamic terrorists are infamous for suicide attacks and sacrificing themselves for their horrific missions. Israel's Institute for National Security Studies at Tel Aviv University recently conducted a study regarding suicide attacks that took place in 2015, and the results were telling. The study, which only used attacks that could be verified by two sources as being a suicide attack, revealed that out of the reported 452 suicide attacks worldwide, 450 were carried out by radical Muslims. The religious element was the most significant factor that motivates the suicide terrorists throughout the world, the Times of Israel reported. Here's the most dramatic statistic. 450 of the 452 suicide terror attacks in 2015 were perpetrated by Muslim extremists. One of the remaining two attacks was carried out by a Kurdish underground. The other was perpetrated by a woman, supporters of a leftist group in Turkey. But that number could possibly be raised to 451 as officials were investigating if the attacks in Turkey was actually the work of a radicalized woman. Yoram Shatzwa, director of the program on terrorism and low-intensity conflicts at Tel Aviv University's Institute of National Security Studies, told the Times of Israel, quote, "We do not count every claim of a suicide attack. In other words, it's not enough if the Islamic State claims a certain number of suicide attacks." Quote, "Quite a few groups like to claim that they have carried out suicide attacks to make themselves look more important and powerful. We always rely on at least two sources to determine that a suicide attack really did take place," Schwarzenegger explained. "Even then, every determination we make is always qualified because we can never be exact about the percentages, and certainly not in places like Syria," he added. To be precise, the research team defined suicide attacks as those that involve suicide bombers equipped with explosives. And every individual suicide bomber was not necessarily counted as a distinct attack. For example, the Paris attack were counted as a single event, even though there were 7 assailants. This just further shows the heinous ideology of the Muslim extremists. They hate for us is so inherently great that they're willing to blow themselves up to kill us. Well, they're not doing that because they hate us. That's not why they're killing themselves. They do hate us, but they're killing themselves because they're looking for their reward. Muhammad was clever to dangle a prize should they follow his orders for jihad. The prize? The 72 virgins, but then again, it could be raisins. They're not certain about the interpretation. In the desert, raisins are a delicacy. I guess virgins are hard to come by. You know, they could always send them donkeys. They seem to like donkeys as well. I think I attached a video, or I did an article on that a few days ago. So this is a reality. These people are willing to destroy themselves to destroy others to collect their reward. You think they're part of a peaceful, loving religion? Huh? I don't. Do you?